Okay, in this video, and again, these videos are going to be helpful for you because over the next couple of weeks, all that you're going to have in my class are quizzes on Canvas in which you have to translate verb forms. And your struggle is in that you don't know how to express it in English. So in my previous video, we went over the indicatives. Remember that indicatives are statements of fact. You crush, that's a statement of fact. You are crushed, or are being crushed, that's a statement of fact. You were crushing, you were being crushed. All of those are statements of fact. And of course the verb that we are using in this is the verb that you see here. Opprimo, opprimere, oppressi, oppressus, to crush. So let's now talk about imperatives. Imperatives are the verb forms that we encounter when we are giving a command. And so, if we think about it, the imperative always has, for the most part, the same person. And that person is the second person. Because when we command, we're always talking to someone, and that's what the person is. So instead of just telling somebody, stand up, I say, you stand up. Or in telling somebody, sit down, or everybody sit down, I would say, y'all, sit down. But I can leave out the y'all. I can just simply say, sit down. Or I can leave out the you, stand up. So let's deal with first the present imperatives, active. So for the second person singular, the way that you form the imperative is you're going to take the infinitive, which remember for this verb would be opprimere, and all you have to do at that point is chop off the re. So I'll go ahead and do that, in which, hopefully, I didn't want to do that. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. There it is. Still no good. Well, I'll just clear the whole thing. And so all of a sudden the re is gone. And the command would be telling someone, crush, as the imperative. Now, if you wanted to have you in there, you would need the exclamation point to tell you it's command, or you could put a comma, you, comma, crush. Now here to form the plural imperative, you take the present stem, your present vowel, depending upon what conjugation. Since this is a third conjugation, the present vowel is a short I. And then the ending te. Kind of like every single day I give a command to all of my classes. Be healthy. Salvete. And so again, the translation is merely crush. Because if I'm telling one person stand up, I say stand up. If I'm telling everybody stand up, I say stand up. Now if you wanted to, you could obviously include a y'all. But you would either need to make sure you have a comma or an exclamation point. Because if y'all say y'all crush, you might be making a statement of fact, and you don't want to confuse it with the indicative. Now, for the negative imperatives. Goofed up again. Let me go back. Hopefully this will work. Oh, there you go. Remember that you're going to employ the two words noli and nolite. So noli, as you can see it right here, is for the singular. And the form of the verb that you pair with the noli nolite is the infinitive. I had every single one of my students say it when they were in Latin 1. And that includes you, Latin 2. Every single one of you told me at some point that the form of the verb that goes with the noli nolite are the infinitive. So noli opprimere, don't crush, as a command, exclamation point. Talking more than one person, don't crush, as a command. Now this is something that might be marginally new. I've mentioned it only in passing. And that is, you can also have the passive imperatives. Passive imperatives are when you tell somebody or something, be verbed. It sounds odd, but let's say that I am a gambler and I am trying to rig a boxing match. And I'm going to bet on not the guy that I'm paying to rig the match, but I'm going to bet on his opponent. And so, if I want the guy with whom I'm in cahoots, I would not tell him, crush your opponent. I would command him, be crushed by your opponent. And that would be then the passive imperatives. Now, if you look at the passive imperatives, the singular and the plural, they are identical to the second person singular and plural indicative. But instead of using a ris ending, the passive imperative always uses the alternate re. So when I look at this form, opprimere, I should on this chart be able to find it 2 other instances. Now, if it were in context to have an exclamation point, then I know that it's the imperative command, be crushed. I'm putting a lot of money on your opponent, so be crushed. But if I were to then go and look for that form of opprimere, I should be able to find it. And let's see if I can somewhat quickly. So there it is again. I don't know if you can make it out to opprimere. But here, with the infinitives, you can see it in that form, to crush. And then in the indicatives, it's that same exact form, opprimere. Present stem, present vowel that with the re turned into a short e from a short I, and then that ending re. So when you see something that looks like an infinitive, it can be so much more. It can be the second person singular indicative, you are verbed. Of course, it can be the infinitive, to verb. And then now we see, hopefully, that it can also be the passive imperative, be verbed. And it will all depend upon context. Here I know what it is because it's in the context of a chart where it's located. But the context of the greater sense as to how it's being used in the passage, exclamation point. Likewise for the plural, again it's identical to the indicative. So when you see the word opprimimini, it could be translated 2 different ways if I were to just simply have it out of context. One way is where you see it here as the command with a present stem, present vowel, second person plural ending, be crushed, y'all. But if it were to have a period, then it's probably from the indicatives, and as such, it obviously is going to be a statement. Y'all are being crushed. Statement. The last 2 are something again that I've mentioned only in passing, so it'll be somewhat new, are the futures. You can have a future imperative, and this is going to be on your quizzes moving forward. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You might want to know them. They're easily recognizable. Present stem, present vowel, and then to for the singular, and present stem, present vowel, tote for the plural. Now, the futures are unique in that, like I've said before, the person of an imperative is always second person. But with the futures, there's also a thing known as the third person imperative. So these can either be second or third, and the way that you will translate them is as follows. For the singular, opprimito, you would translate it, if it's second person, and let me do a better job of that and erase it to where it is a bit more clear. So it's either second or third, second or third. Second will translate, may you crush, as an exclamation point. And the third person would then be translated, let him, her, or it, let's go with him, crush, exclamation point. And so when you see the to as the ending of the future on the present stem with the present vowel, it is either may you crush or let him, her, or it crush. For the plural, same thing. If you're using it in the second person, talking directly to a person, it, of course, being the plural tote, you would say, may y'all crush, exclamation point. And for the third person, it would be let them crush, exclamation point as well. And that, of course, is how you then translate all of those various imperatives. Be able to recognize them, and you'll be able to recognize them by their form. Always, it's the form. And then also be able to translate them or express them. So again, crush, crush, talking more than one person. Don't crush, noli nolite. Be crushed, you one person. Be crushed, you lots of people. And then here, may you or let him crush, and may y'all or let them crush. Imperatives. Hopefully the video helps you make a good grade on these quizzes. Thank you.